Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chisom and this is Life with Chisom. If it's the very first time seeing this face, welcome, and please click on the subscribe button so you get subscribed to my channel. It's totally free, and the bell like button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video, because you definitely want to be looking forward to more amazing content from me. Okay, from the title, you guys already know we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about everything concerning how to move to wherever you are, all over the part of the world, to Canada. And I'm going to be sharing how I did it myself. So this is a do-it-yourself video. If you're not interested in that, well, I still suggest that you watch, because you definitely want to know what your agent is doing for you. Though I believe you can actually do it yourself. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I actually moved to the UK from Nigeria to the UK myself. I did the whole process and I moved from UK to Canada. I still did it myself. Now I just want to correct maybe some impression maybe people might have had in my previous video. Me moving from the UK to Canada, I don't want people to think that you have to go to the UK to make it easier to come to Canada. No, you can actually move from wherever you are to Canada, and I'm going to show you how, or I'm going to discuss how you can do that. When I was applying from the UK to Canada, I already have my Express Entry profile open long before I moved to the UK. I was renewing every year. I'm just trying to say that in my application, the only thing that signifies UK in my application is my country of residence, my proof of fund. All my documentations were documents that I have from Nigeria. My work experience were work experience that I got from Nigeria that I use. So don't think you have to move to a particular country to make it easier. I think that's one weird impression people have been, talking about, and people assume. I even heard that you make it easier, but no, it doesn't make it any easier. It's still the same process. So I just want to put this out there, and also I want to say I'm not an agent. I don't help people apply. I'm just here to share how I did it myself, and hopefully it's going to help you do it yourself as well. I'll be in the comment section to answer the questions that you might have as much as possible. And if you guys are interested in having like an Instagram live, just in case you have more questions that you need me to like interact with you more, let me know in the comment section, and probably like I'll figure out the time that's suitable for us and for me as well, so that we can have like a live session and you can come with your questions and I'll give clarification to the best of my knowledge. So as you guys can see, I have my tab here and I wrote things down just so that everything flows very, very well. And I also suggest that you get a pen and paper, okay? A pen and paper so that you're able to write things down. So let's get right into the video. Okay, I'm just going to give a brief, or would I call it like an abstract, where I summarize everything I'm going to be saying so that once I go deeper, you won't get lost, right? So, how do you move to Canada? You move to Canada through a pathway called Express Entry. This pathway is for people who are going to, or who want to get a permanent residency. I don't know anything about visitors visa, student visa, no. But I know Express Entry is for PR, permanent residency. So if that's what you're interested in, this video is definitely for you. Okay? And yes, you can actually get your PR. You don't need to come in as a student, you don't need to come in as a visitor. You can actually apply for PR straight away. Okay, now let me give you like a brief overview. Let's assume that Canada is like a house, or maybe like an estate. Or let me use a house for example. A house, fenced around, that's like a border, there's a gate man at the gate, right? You want to have access to this house, you want to come to this house, you had so much good thing about this house, and you want to become a member of this house, whether you come in to work for them, or just came in to just chill because you just like the house, right? So now there are criteria you need to meet before you'll be able to enter the house. Now, when you come at the gate man is going to ask you for some documents, right? It's going to ask you, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you do this? You'll be like, oh, yes, I have this. I have that. There are some key things that you need to show, maybe like your passport or something like that, to show that you're actually somebody, because all these things are digital. You are actually a physical person, like you're a human being, and you have some things like, right? some level of education and everything. So the gate man is like, okay, come in, come in, come in. There's no like proper screening at that stage. It's just like the basic, the bare minimum. They're going to bring you all together, and they're going to give you scores based on your level of education, based on your level of your age, your experience, whether you have family in the house, whether you have anything. They're just going to give you guys, allocate numbers accordingly. It's a calculated CRS score. They're going to gather you guys and put you guys in a pool. So let's assume they put you guys in a swimming pool. All of you are all in the swimming pool with your number on your head. And now you guys are there. It's like the waiting area. They do not need you people yet. You can just come there and stay. Now the owner of the house will be like, okay, we are having shortage of staff in the kitchen. We need more people who are going to work in our dispensary. We need more people who are going to work in our hospital, in our healthcare. We need this, we need that, we need that. We need to get some people in, right? Now, instead of going to start doing adverts and telling people we need people, they already have people in their swimming pool who are waiting, or in the waiting area who are waiting to be looked into or to be admitted. Now they're going to be like, okay, let's say there are about 100 people who are pharmacists, right? And they're like, okay, we don't need 100 pharmacists. We need like 10 pharmacists. How do we get that? Now, based on your scores, your age, your experience, whatever, you're going to rank in scores. So they'll be like, okay, which score are we going to cut off so that we can have only 10 people coming, or maybe 12 people, just in case, interview them, just in case anybody fails the interview. So now they're gonna release a score that will only be able to like get 12 people. So let's say they'll have a cutoff of 460, and then from 460 and above it's about 12 candidates, and that's what they are looking at. They're gonna release that score, and people in that category, people with that score, the gate man are gonna fish them out. I know that sounds weird, but yeah, they're gonna fish them out. And then when they fish you out, they'll be like, okay, you said you had this, you said you had that, you say you have this much money, you say you can take care of yourself, you say you have this qualification. Now provide us with the evidence for this thing. Now they're going to go and get their evidence. They have now fished them out, which is like invitation to apply. And then now tell them, okay, go and bring your document to prove that all the things you said you had when you were about to enter the pool, that you actually have them. Now you're going to get them and you're going to submit, then they're going to look into it. It's more like an interview section. You're going to look into it, evaluate it, investigate it, and be sure that what you are saying is true. And now once everything is okay, they'll be like, you are a perfect candidate. They're now going to give you your confirmation of permanent residency, and when you enter the house, they're going to give you a PR card. So this is express entry in a nutshell, right? So now you understand how the system works step by step. You have to first open your profile. You have to you have to get into the pool. And then when they have a draw, they're going to draw you out from the pool. You submit your application. And then if everything is all right, you get your permanent residency. Now let's go to the nitty gritty. Okay. So what is express entry? Express entry is a point-based system. So when I mean point-based, that's what I mean by score. So based on what you have, your age, everything, they're going to give you a score at the end. So now in that express entry, they have three major categories. They have the federal skilled worker, they have the federal skilled trades, and then the Canadian experience class. It's quite explanatory. Federal skilled worker, people who are skilled. You can be skilled in anything, literally. Depends on what they're looking for. Skilled trade are people that are into business, like trades. That's literally what it is. And Canadian experience class are people who have Canadian experience. Maybe they have worked in Canada, that's just it. You have worked in Canada. That's Canadian experience class. You qualify for that. So these are the three major categories. Whereas I think in 2023, they release more categories, more specific categories, because they want some specific people, right? Instead of just saying, okay, let's have a cutoff of 400. Now they are going to bring in a lot of people are in the pool, carpenters, lawyers, doctors, whatever. They're going to bring everything. They don't want that because they don't have shortage in all those jobs. So they now brought about these categories to target on specific occupations that they actually need. So one of them is French. They have French category. These are because they want to like increase the people who speak French. So they are bringing in more French people. So if you know how to speak French, you stand in a better chance of getting called, like getting your ITA. So they have the healthcare occupation, which are people in the healthcare. They have healthcare category rather, doctors. But don't just assume that your profession, because it's in healthcare, it's a healthcare occupation. Don't just assume that it's in their list of healthcare occupation, because for a very long time when it started, pharmacists were not there. It's, I think, until this year that they included pharmacists in their healthcare occupation. So don't just assume, but I'm going to get into it, right? Then they have, I think recently they have the one for the teachers, people who are secondary school, primary school teachers. They will put like a category like that. I don't have all the categories in my mind or in my head. So that's why it is very important to make sure you check my description box, because I'll be dropping all the direct links. The link where you can find all this information is IRCC website. But I get that it can be very, very confusing and there are a lot of information there. So I'll do the job to get specific links that will take you directly to the page on the IRC website where you have to read it. The only thing you have to do for me is to click on that subscribe button. Yes, that's my payment. Click on that subscribe button, watch videos to the end, leave a comment, like. So now these are the major categories. They have also people who are in STEM, transport, agri and agro food category. There are many categories. So I'm going to put a link so you see different categories and see which one suits you. And now that I've finished talking about the different categories, another thing you want to do is calculate your CRS score. Now I'm going to put a link to the CRS score tool calculator. It is a very good tool, and I would say that for everybody who is trying to look into this pathway, I would say first of all go and use that CRS tool. Now what this is going to help you do is going to give you an estimate of what your score will look like when you apply or when you open an express entry profile. So it's more like as if you're opening an express entry profile, but this CRS tool is not going to require you to provide like your exam number, your ECA number and stuff. This is just like, yes, I have it. Yes, I have this, I have that, I have this experience. So at the end, it's going to give you a score. So from that score, you'll be able to like see your chances, if you stand any chance at all. But trust me, you stand a chance, and I'll be telling you how. That's about CRS score calculator. So the next thing after doing your CRS score, the next thing I would advise you to do is to look into what they call the NOC code. So NOC code is National Occupation Classification. So this is where they list different classification and they allocate a code number for it. So now this is very, very important because most people don't get ITA because of they are using the wrong NOC for their occupation, or they might get ITA and get turned down because they use the wrong NOC. And when you submit your reference, I don't want to jump steps, so I'm going to come to that. So, but this NOC code is very important because I will tell you, use a pen and paper or a note, write down all the jobs you have done, and then go on this website, on this NOC code. There's also a direct link for it, and I'm going to attach it in the description box. Go there and search for those jobs. There are three most important things you want to search when you're on the website. The first thing is the job title. The job title, does it match what you did? That is very, very important. But at the same time, it's not that important as well. The most important thing is the job description. Now, when they say that, okay, this code is for community pharmacists, maybe you practice in the community pharmacy, but the community pharmacist in Nigeria might be different from the community pharmacist role in Canada. So that's why it's very important to go through the descriptions, that's the job roles or duties, so that you be sure that make sure that this is what you did wherever you are or where you're practicing, because that is very, very important. So once it matches, the next thing you also want to do, which is the third thing, is to make sure when it comes to the education qualification, all the things is once you open the job, you're going to see all these things down. So make sure you read through. When you see the educational requirements, you make sure that you have the required education required. You make sure you have the right education required for that role. You cannot say that you practice as a community pharmacist and you have an education in biochemistry. You don't have a BSc in pharmacy. It doesn't correlate. So that is very, very important. Once that is, you have confirmed all that, and you have actually figured out your NOC codes, I'll say use pen and paper and write it down. This is very, very important. You don't want to make mistake. This is going to change the game for you. It did the same for me. Really, I adjusted my NOC code appropriately. I got ITA in 3 months. So it is very, very important. And this is why I'm saying you should do this now before you start thinking of opening an express entry profile. So you calculate your CRS score, you check your NOC code, get it done. Now, you already know these things. I want to open my express entry profile. So there are two most important things you need to have before you be able to open a profile. If you don't have these things, you cannot open a profile. The number one thing is you have to write your IELTS. Yes, that's the English test. The IELTS is very, very important, and it's the general test that you're going to write. If you're going for federal skilled worker, you definitely want to be aiming for a CBL 7. I'm going to put a link so that you go into it. I don't want to dive so much deep into that. But if you want to know about the IELTS test, leave a comment in the comment section. Maybe I'll do a separate video addressing that. You should aim for the highest score possible. Then the second thing you need to do is to evaluate your degree. Whatever degree you have, master's, bachelor's, whichever one is the highest degree that you have. If you have a master's and BSc, evaluate your master's. Don't go and start evaluating your BSc. Or maybe you are evaluating your BSc because you are using it, but it doesn't make sense because the higher your degree, the more points you're going to get. So I would suggest you evaluate your highest degree. If you have a master's, go ahead and evaluate your master's. If you have a bachelor degree and that's your highest, go and evaluate it. You get the highest point if you have a PhD. After PhD is master's or professional course and then bachelor's degree. Now, when it comes to evaluating your degree, it's very, very important that you evaluate your degree with the right evaluating body in Canada, right? So if you're a professional, please, if you study a professional course, please, please, please do your research. Go on ChatGPT or on Google and search if they have a body in Canada that evaluates your degree. If your body, let's say, for example, I'm a pharmacist, and in Canada we have like PEBC, Pharmacy Examining Body of Canada. So these take care of anything concerning pharmacists, international pharmacists, our licensing, everything, documentation, or whatever. So when they evaluate my degree, they're going to evaluate it as a professional course. Then that my degree is going to match the score for a master's degree. But if I evaluate my document with the general evaluating body, let's say WES, it's going to evaluate it as a bachelor's degree. And I will not get my point as a professional. I will get a point of a bachelor's degree. So that is, you want to maximize your point in all that you do. So that is very, very important. So your IELTS and your document evaluation. This is very important because you're going to use the number on those both certificates to open your express entry profile. Without this thing, you're wasting your time. So once you have these two things, go ahead and open your express entry profile. Like I said, it's more like as if you're filling in your details just like you did for your CRS calculator. So you just fill in your age, whether you're married. They're also going to ask you how much you are coming into Canada with, because you're not going to come in empty-handed. Sorry, it's not a charity company, a charity country. So they're going to ask you about the money. I'll try and put the link in the description box so you see the recent cost for a single person coming in, or if you're coming with your husband or your wife, or you're coming with your family, or family of one, family of two, three, whatever. There is a chart and they'll tell you each prices or the cost. I would advise you just put the right amount for your, maybe just a little bit over, or round it up and put it as, let's say, if the cost for me as a single person to come to Canada is, let's say, 14,250 or 14,500, I definitely want to keep it at 15,000 or maybe 14,600 or 14,700. Just give it space, because maybe during the process of you getting ITA, you might increase the price. You never can tell. So make sure you put it, even if you don't have the money yet. This is quite, tricky. Even if you don't have, just put it there, right? You never can tell. Help can come from anywhere, right? So fill it in, and then once you take your time, especially when it comes to you entering what your work experience, it is very important you take your time. Make sure you're writing the right thing. You're putting down the right thing, especially your no code. And make sure that the jobs you're putting in, you have a way to get their reference. If they don't want you to be in a situation whereby they'll ask you to provide a reference. Maybe the occupation is tied to your ITA and you can't get the reference. So make sure that whatever job you're putting down, you have a way to get your reference, your bank statement, that's proof of you getting paid from that job, and possibly your pay slip. These three things is very, very important, especially your bank statement and your reference. If you are paid to cash, if you are paid in cash, definitely have a way to prove that you are paid in cash. So if you don't have proof for this thing, please leave it out for now. Leave out that job role for now. So it is very important. Put the right code, do your research, go and look through the no code, the job description, and the educational requirements for that role. It is very, very important. Even if the job title does not match, which I would say try as much as possible. But it's something that can be, especially as long as the description of the job is the same. They understand that job role or job title differs from country, but if the job duties is still the same, it still makes sense. So make sure you do everything well, cross check it, have somebody look over your profile if possible, make sure everything is well and you put all the right thing, then submit, and then you have created an expert-centric profile, and that automatically puts you inside the pool. And then you will see at the end your score that you are using to stand on the pool, if you get what I mean. If you get that, my first illustration, that score that will be on top of your head, that is your score. So if they now do a draw and the draw fits into your job role, let's say it's a category base that they did, and maybe you're in healthcare and maybe your jobs are in your NOC code is among the NOC code that they want in the job occupation, in the healthcare occupation, you're going to get ITA and you're going to apply. So another advice I would say that when you're opening your profile, I'll just say before you open your profile, go through those categories, because it's been a while they did like a federal draw to invite everybody. It's been a very, very long time. So they are focusing more on different categories. So I'll just say try as much as possible to go through all the categories and see a way to fit yourself inside one of those categories. That will give you better chances of getting ITA. You can learn French. French is I think they do French draw almost every month. So it's very, very important if you can. I know it's hard to learn new language, but if you can, please, please, please go learn French. Okay, so there was also another pathway they call provincial nominee program. I really don't know so much about this one because, I know that it's provinces that organize it. They invite some people that they want in their province, and then they'll do their own evaluation, which if you pass their own evaluation, they're going to give you 600 points. And when you add 600 points to your point, there is no way they will do a draw and you won't be called. So that's another option. But I don't want to go so much into that. But if you need more knowledge on that, of course, you can let me know in the comment section. So that's basically it. You be in the pool. If they do a draw and you're being called, they'll ask you to submit your documents. You still fill another application form, submit your document. This is where it gets very, very, very dicey. And when you get your ITA, it's more like you're 70% done, almost. But that 30% is very, very important and very, very crucial, that you need to be very, very careful. You need to be very, very careful. You need to really, really scrutinize. When I was filling my own, I left my application. I didn't submit for over like 3 or 4 days because I was going over everything. You have to scrutinize the application. Use microscope to look at every single detail, because any mistake there, it is over. And it's not like they will reject it and you reapply immediately. No. If they reject your application at that point, or they'll tell you that you didn't make it or something, you're going to go back inside the pool and wait till whenever they're going to have a draw. And if you're lucky, you're being called. If you're unlucky, you're going to remain inside the pool. So that one chance that you have, that it give it when they give you ITA, it's very, very important that you utilize it and be careful with application. That's why I said it's very important to make sure that, especially your work experience, that you have, or you are still in contact with those people you work for that are willing to give you your reference. You are ready to bring out your bank statement, pay slip to prove that you have it. Another thing that get people likely disqualified or being like rejected is proof of fund. Proof of fund. I know most of us when we're filling those things, we don't even have that money. But trust me, I think one of the rules is that you have to have the money for like 6 months in your account, the whole money for like 6 months, and then print the statement of account when they ask you to print it. So you have to have it up until the time you're applying. and if possible till when you get your PR, because that's the safest. Because in between the waiting time, when they're evaluating your document, they can still ask you to provide an updated version. And if the money, I've seen people that if the money is no longer there, it's over for them. There's also a way for you to get your proof of fund, which is the way that I use. I use gift deed. Have like a parent gift you the money. Your father can gift you the money, or your mom can gift you the money, the total money, and then you have to do some legal documentation, deed of gift or gift deed, to say that this money is yours, and your dad is going to sign it that he's not going to take the money back from you. So yeah, there are different things like you need to put in consideration, but I'm not going to go so deep into that. But if you want to know more, you know what to do. Leave the comment in the comment section, and if you want like a live section, like I said, let me know in the comment section as well. So once they evaluate your document and everything is all right, it's correct, just like might happen, I wish the same for you. They're gonna give a final decision. Final decision can mean that they have accepted it. I've also seen someone who got final decision, FD, and it was rejection. So they're gonna give you final decision, and then you're gonna get your RFV, which is request for visa, and then you submit your passport, get stamped, and your passport is going to come back to you with your confirmation of permanent residency. And all it takes is for you to book that ticket, okay? And you find your way in Canada. Before you know it, in a couple of months, you're gonna get your PR. I even forgot to let you guys know that I've actually gotten my PR card. So yeah, your girl is a permanent resident of Canada. Anyway, guys, so that is it. That is just like a quick summary. I hope you guys were able to understand what I explained. It's quite a bulky or lengthy thing if you're hearing it for the very first time, and it can get confusing. But trust me, once you get the hang of it, you already know how it works. And like I said, I'm always here in the comment section to reply to your messages, your confusion. If you have anything you have to ask, if I cannot explain it, probably we're gonna have like an Instagram live, and I'll put you guys on everything you need to know. So that's basically it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's been insightful. Hope you learn one or two or three or 10. Because there are a lot of things I put in here, guys. And like I said, the only way to reward me is to click on that subscribe button. You can see that we're a few hundreds away from 1,000. So please support your girl. Okay? And also click on the bell like button so you'll be notified once again. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. Let me know in the comment section if there's something that you need me to talk more on. Proof of fund, IELTS, that's the English test, document evaluation, whatever. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll pull up. I'll pull up and help you guys out. So yeah, bye guys. Let me go enjoy my Sunday.